To manufacture consent, both domestically and internationally, states often use hate as a political weapon. 9/11 attacks were a watershed moment in international relations. It was the first time in modern history that a non-state actor successfully carried out a large-scale attack on a sovereign state. In the aftermath, many ordinary Americans in the Rust Belt were asking a simple question: why would anyone want to attack the US? In their mind, the US was an innocent country, geographically distant from the Middle East, and a nation that had never attacked anyone. This perception reflected the widespread ignorance of American people. In the State of Union address, George W. Bush attempted to explain to the American people why Al Qaeda attacked the US.
They hate our freedoms, our freedom of religion, our freedom of speech, our freedom to vote and assemble and disagree with each other.
Nationalism was at all-time high,
America is united. We are strong. We are stronger than ever.
and many Americans accepted the government's explanation without question that American freedom was the reason the country was targeted on 9/11. Soon after, the US government passed the controversial Patriot Act, which curtailed civil liberties. The public remained largely silent. Hate was used to justify policy. At that time, hate gave two competing meanings to the word. US government used hate to mobilize people against Islamic terrorism, while Bin Laden used hate to mobilize Muslims to wage jihad against the US and its allies. Bin Laden had long-standing complaints against the US, which he famously outlined in his letter to American people. Coincidentally, he had once supported by US during the Soviet-Afghan War when he was celebrated as a holy warrior fighting against the Soviet Union. But why did bin Laden turn against his former ally? In his letter, he cited consistent US support for Israel against Palestinians. He also condemned the presence of US troops in Saudi Arabia, the bombing of civilians in the Middle East, and the prolonged blockade of Iraq. Bin Laden blamed the American people themselves, arguing that they were complicit, directly or indirectly, in the US interventions in the Middle East. He also pointed to what he saw as Western double standard on human rights, selectively applied to justify interference in Muslim countries. Argument is not intended to justify the killing of innocent people. Rather, it emphasized a fundamental principle of international politics. Every action has a reaction.